Hello Year 11, hope you've had a really lovely Christmas and you're looking forward to this online geography lesson. Today we're looking at Rio de Janeiro, which is our case study city. We're going to look at how Rio is regionally, nationally and internationally important. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to tell me what you know about Rio. It can be anything, football teams, any kind of football that's been held here. You might know a little bit about some famous landmarks. You might know a little bit about the language they speak. Anything you know about Rio. So pause the video now and go onto your Google Forms and complete this first question. Okay, so a little bit of a pointless. See if you can use your Google Forms to tell me its capital city, its famous monument, the 2016 Olympic city, its famous beach, its population and the continent it belongs to. So pause this video now and have a go at your Google Forms multiple choice quiz. So, where's Brazil located? This is all about Brazil and Rio. So you can see here on this yellow splodge that Brazil is located in South America. It's the 5th largest landmass in the world, and you know that it's significantly bigger than Britain. Okay, you can see that from the map, but also from its population. You know from doing the multiple choice quiz that Brazil has a population of over 200 million. This is 4 times bigger than the UK's population at 56 million. So what I want you to do is, these maps are better than what's on Google Forms. I want you to describe where Brazil's located and also then when Rio is located. I want you to try and use all of these words and numbers in your description. So things like 43 degrees west, the number 9 you should be able to see if you can use, equator. Okay, so pause the video now and describe for me where's Brazil located and where's Rio located. So, a bit about Rio's history. Rio was the capital city of Brazil. Okay, under Portuguese rule, it became a major trading port. Now, Rio grew up over this bay here. Okay, this bay here is where we see Sugarloaf Mountain. Now, this is where the Christ the Redeemer statue is. Okay, you should just be able to see the mouse move. It stands 396 metres above the harbour, and this area is incredibly important in Brazil. However, in the 1960s, Portuguese rule was lost in Brazil. It was given back to the Brazilian government. And because Rio was so overpopulated and the coastal cities were incredibly overpopulated, what they wanted to do is they wanted to encourage development of the interior of the country. So Brasilia in 1960 became the capital city. Before that, it was Rio. And this explains why Rio is and was one of Brazil's most important cities. So why is Rio important? Well, for a number of reasons. I want you to use these images and I want you to try and come up with reasons why Brazil is so important. Okay, so pause the video now, go onto your Google Forms, and I want you to tell me why Brazil is so important. Okay, so we've got Rio's importance here. So Rio's important at a series of levels. Locally, to the local area, why is Rio important? Regionally, within Brazil, why is Rio important? And internationally, so for the rest of the world, why is this city Rio so important? So, for example, Rio's important on a local level because it's got the carnival. Now, you may have already heard of Rio Carnival. It's a huge event. Okay, Rio's also got lots of hospitals and universities, and you will already have noticed that there may be an airport that you can fly into. Rio's important to Brazil on a huge level. First of all, it's the main exporting place. So anybody who has growing coffee or sugar, anything from the rainforest, everything's exported out of Rio. Okay. Also, their headquarters, so the main offices of Brazil's oil and mining, is found in Rio. right? So these are really important because this is where the managers sit. This is where kind of the chief executives and the executives sit, right? So it's not the miners or anything like that. Rio is also a manufacturing centre, okay, especially for processed food, clothing, pharmaceuticals and chemicals. And Rio produces 5% of all of Brazil's GDP. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but actually, as far as cities go, that's a huge amount. So why is it important on the international stage? Well, Rio hosted the 2016 Olympics and also held the 2014 World Cup. Okay, the Christ the Redeemer is the most iconic landmarks. It also has incredibly important beaches, festivals, colonial architecture. Copacabana Beach being one of Brazil's most famous beaches, and people go here from all over the world, okay, to visit Rio on holiday. So what I want you to do is I want you to use that information to answer this question. Now, the question says, examine the national and international importance of an EDC or an LID city you've studied. So, first of all, we need to bug the question. So we need to make sure that we are using the key term examine. Okay, this is the command word. So we need to examine the national and international importance. So no regional on here. Now, we've been looking at an EDC city and this is Rio. Okay, don't write about Birmingham or anything else crazy. Don't pick any other city. We've only learned about Rio. So the word examine, what does it mean? It means to look in close detail to establish key facts and important issues. So you need some facts and figures in here. You need some specific things that are specific to Rio and are not generic. So just saying it has an airport is not enough, okay? It has to be way more specific than that. So what are you going to do in your exam question? You need 2 paragraphs for this. It's 6 marks. You need to have paragraph 1, and you're going to need to think about what do you need to write about, okay? The national and international importance should be a giveaway. Paragraph 2 then is what you haven't written about, national or international importance. We need to make sure that it has case study specific detail. So if you're saying it's a tourist destination, that's generic. Portsmouth is a tourist destination, but what is it that people come to see? Okay, so in Rio, it's Christ the Redeemer that people come to see. In Portsmouth, obviously, it might be the Mary Rose or possibly the Spinnaker Tower. So pause the video now and I want you to answer this exam question. This has to be done in detail. 2 paragraphs, 6 marks, take you about 10 minutes, off you go. So, should have answered your exam question. Now we need to have a look a little bit at Rio's land use. Now, Rio is split into 4 different zones. Okay, we have the central zone, we have the west zone, we have the south zone, then we have the west zone. Can you tell I'm a geography teacher and I really don't actually know my north, south, east and west. And then we have the north zone. Crikey, you'll all need to get a better teacher. So, apologies. Rio de Janeiro is split into 4 different zones. Now, you are going to have a read through this, okay, and you are going to answer the questions about Rio's 4 zones. The north zone, the central zone, the west zone, and the south zone. So pause the video now and then answer the multiple choice questions on your Google Forms. And that's the end of today's lesson. Anybody got any questions, please send me a private message. Anything you're stuck on, please send me a private message. Or anything, if you want to chat or anything, please send me a private message. I hope today wasn't too painful. It's also a bit of a wake up for all of us after a lovely 2-week break. Absolutely anything, send me a message. Otherwise, I will see you again this week, tomorrow, for some more live lessons. Thanks, bye-bye.